Hey, welcome back to the Relentless Positivity Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Martin. I'm very excited about our guest today. Just listen to all these accomplishments right here. A lot of accomplishments. You tune in, stay, get comfortable. All right. So she is a head coach at the Mae Jemison Jaguars basketball program, female program. She's a nonprofit CEO. She's an author. She's a former professional basketball player, Madison Academy graduate. She's a 3A player of the year, 1,000-point club. I mean, she's done it all. So thank you for coming on. I can't wait to get into this right here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Oh, and one more thing. According to my son, you got some muscles on you too.
I do a little bit. I can't lie.
He was impressed, man. He's like, dang, he was very impressed. Yeah, good on you. If you can impress a 15-year-old, you're doing good.
Oh yeah, I'm doing something then.
You got those guns. So nothing impresses them. So yeah, so let's just get in. So I know it's kind of a loaded question for a military kid, but where did you grow up?
That is a loaded question. I claim here home, but I did move here in 7th grade. I was born in Texas, and we moved to Hawaii and California, and then we moved to Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay. Did you have any favorites over the years growing up?
Ooh, I honestly would say it's a tie between Hawaii and California, because Hawaii is like it's just a different world over there. It's just so chill. But then California, it's just the nature, the people, the ethnicities is so diverse. Honestly, it's hard to choose between the two, but probably like if I was going on vacation, I would go to Hawaii. If I was trying to live where we lived was Lompoc, California, so it was a small little town. It was perfect. So I would go back there for sure.
Man, it's hard to beat that weather when you're in Alabama.
Oh my gosh,
100 degrees and humidity.
That was a culture shock for me.
I bet. Yeah, man, that humidity is for real.
Oh, it's rough. It's rough.
I mentioned a little bit about your basketball career, but kind of do like a brief overview in case people haven't heard about you.
Yeah, so I started playing basketball when I was 4. I was able and blessed to go to Madison Academy when I moved over here, and then we won a state championship. So I'm thankful to win one in high school. And then in college, I went to Belmont University, and over there I won 3 out of 4 OVC championships, 3 NCAA appearances. And then I was able to go play professionally in Spain, and we won a championship over there. So I'm kind of proud of you to say I won a championship in every level, because that's very rare.
I'm seeing a common denominator right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm thankful for that, and I'm looking forward to adding that with coaching too.
So where did you play overseas?
I played in Spain. It's called Baracaldo, Spain. And the main city is Bilbao. It's called the Basque Country. It's like northern Spain. Beautiful, beautiful place. If you've never been, I would suggest you go.
I'd love to go to Spain. It's on my list. It's on my list for sure. I've heard a great thing. So, I mean, I don't know, it may just happen to be that you happen to be a Spanish major in college. Did that have anything to help you out a little bit?
It did a little bit. It did. Yeah, my undergrad was in Spanish, and then Spain was my dream country. Like prayed about it, and just really cool. God let it happen, worked for it, and got to live with the host family. I played Division II. I don't think most people realize there's a D1, D2, D3 overseas. And most D2 teams, you live with the host family. So I was really able to be immersed in the culture. And it was an absolute incredible experience. I loved it. I loved it.
That sounds amazing. So are you still fluent, I guess, after all these years?
I keep it up, yes. And then actually I found our Spanish teacher at Jemison, so I'm going to be in her office every day. And I still keep up with a couple of my teammates. We send little voice messages through WhatsApp. So I'm trying to still stay in, and I read and all that different stuff.
Man, when the pandemic first started, I was killing it on one of those little apps over there.
Duolingo?
Yeah, Duolingo for sure. and then it got hard and I quit. Man, I'm so disappointed. Man, I was eating all the apples. Man, I could tell you about eating apples all day long.
Oh yeah, manzanas. Yeah,
manzanas, mucho manzanas. And then started like getting into grammar and stuff, and I was like, oh man, let's get back to the manzanas.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I mean, you've played a lot of places, done a lot of things, and you're coaching yourself now. What are kind of some takeaways you've had from basketball?
Man, I learned that basketball is not my life. It's a platform. That's one big thing I wish more people would realize, because I get a lot of, Sierra, why'd you stop playing so quick? One season, and I had opportunities to come back to the same team where I could have played in Asia. But it was that reason, like I realized I was coaching, and I coached a 6th grade boys team over there. And then I taught English part-time. So I did all that. Then I went to practice 10 o'clock at night. And one day I remember laying in bed, and I was just like, I could be doing all this back home. and make a bigger impact. And that's because I know basketball is a platform. It's not my life. So that's like the biggest takeaway that I've learned is to use basketball. I mean, basketball allowed me to travel the world. Like I've been to Brazil at Belmont, went to Brazil. I've been to Poland, Germany, just athletes in action. So, I mean, basketball really showed me a lot of things. I got to see a lot of places and also learn. Like, I think between basketball and football, they really can teach you life. So that's one of the main things I've learned through it is life, and just that it is not my life, it is my platform. So.
Man, what a great answer. I'm over here taking notes, man. I hope some kids get to see this. Some kids right now that are playing sports and I mean, hey, scholarships are great. You know,
Yeah.
that money you can make in college even now is great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
But man, use it as a tool. You use it for your education, get to meet people, make those relationships. I bet you have a ton of relationships you made through sports. I know I did as well.
Yeah.
That last a lifetime. I still keep up with people that I played, and I'm 100 years old now compared to you. And still the people that I played with back in the day are my best friends to this day. Those shared
Yeah,
experiences.
I totally agree with you. Relationship is another one. Like it's so cool. Still keeping up with coaches that recruited me, or I was working at Auburn before COVID happened with FCA, and I was a women's ministry associate. And it was just cool. Some teams that were playing against Auburn, they would text me, "Yo, are you here? Let me see you for a minute." So it's just really cool. And then so the same people have been helping me with the job that I'm at now. So definitely, I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Shout out to Chet Williams, man. He's the man.
Oh my gosh, he's amazing. He's
His book's
amazing.
awesome.
Best boss ever.
Yeah, I bet. That's cool to get. See, there's another thing. Your platform got you there. One of the coolest.
Yeah, it did. It did. It did. I'm thankful for him. He's had a huge impact on my life. Super thankful for him.
I bet tons of lives he's touched right there. So if you don't know
Mhm.
his story, look up Chet Williams. Check out some of his books. He's an awesome guy. But another thing, your platform, you're able to start your own nonprofit. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's been a vision of mine. It's been on me probably like 2-3 years. Of just being able to provide healthy foods to low-income families in our community, because we know it is expensive to be healthy, very expensive. And even to you think about a gym membership, not everyone can afford that $15 a month or $45 for a personal trainer. There's some people out there that are not able to do anything, and we know, especially you haven't known by now, COVID taught you it's important to be healthy
Man,
and
yeah.
exercise and eat right. So Redeemed, we provide impoverished families with healthy foods, access to fitness activities, and educational support to reform, repair, and restore lives in the community. So it's been a passion of mine, and I'm excited that the farm should be up next year, spring 2022, and we're gonna be planting fruits and vegetables and give these to low-income families in our area. And not only will they have these fruits and vegetables, but they will be educated. They'll have a piece of paper that has what they are, nutrition value, and recipes, because not everyone knows what a zucchini is or a squash. And my nonprofit, we're intentional. We just don't want to throw it at them and be like, here, we want to educate them. That way they can learn and change their habits.
Well, man, hey, I'm a fitness guy, and I can barely tell a zucchini and cucumber apart. Right? Give me that paper, right?
That's true, though. That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Well, that's so important that you don't think about that. If you grew up like this and your parents didn't really have fresh fruits and vegetables, all that, and you're not used to eating them, you just think that, oh, well, I just, I could pick up some Cheetos or whatever. I go to there and I eat whatever's here, peanut butter and jelly. It's life changing though. When you can cover those areas right there, we can cover the physical and mental health of people like that. It's amazing what can happen.
Yeah, totally agree with you.
So
Totally
how did that start with you? Why did you decide that? How did that come about?
It was one day I was helping at a food bank, and a woman came up to me and she said, "What is this?" And it was strawberries.
Wow.
And just wow.
Yeah.
It just gave me a new perspective, and it just put a fire in my heart. Like, I want to change it. And also just of volunteering in that community in high school and even college, in Nashville, and even coming back home, is just seeing what is usually given. Think about it. When we give a food drive, what's food drive? It's canned goods. What's canned goods? High sodium, high cholesterol, high sugar. It's not healthy, but it's cheap for them, cheap to buy it, to give to them, and it lasts long, right? But it's not helping them out in the long term. So I want to change that. Redeem is going to change that.
There you go. I like that last statement. It's gonna change that. That's what I'm talking about. So tell us about the farm a little bit. Where is the farm?
It is located, it's 595 Nance Road. It's right next to Monrovia Church of Christ. it is actually their land, and they believed in my vision, and we're partnering together, and they donated to Redeemed. So yeah, it's right there in the tweener, 72, Nance Road, Jeff, all right there, the
Yeah.
weird Madison Huntsville line. But it's about 5 acres of land, and I can't wait to see what God's gonna do with that thing.
Wow.
I mean, 5 acres is a lot of food.
That's
It's a lot.
amazing for them. We all know how much land is worth nowadays. So
Oh
that's
my gosh, yeah.
amazing that
Yeah.
they would donate that. Very
Yeah,
cool.
I actually thought because Redeemed, I was launched February of 2021. I thought getting land was gonna be the last thing that I was gonna get, and it was the first. We got the land March 13th, so like a month
Wow.
later. So yeah, really
Very
cool.
cool. So hit the website real quick for that.
What'd you say?
Hit the website for your charity real quick.
It's youareredeemed.com.
Yeah, and I'll link that in show notes, but youareredeemed.com. Check it out, man. A lot of cool things. Another thing on there is your book. You can check out your book right there. So tell us a little bit about your book.
Yeah, Have Faith Like Noah. I wrote that while I was in Spain, actually. On the way, it took me about like a mile and a half to get to the subway or metro. And I would stop at a park because I knew there was no Wi-Fi, no distractions. I went in the morning because back here at home, everybody was asleep. And Spain is like 8 hours ahead. And I wrote that book probably in like 2 weeks, kind of crazy.
Wow.
And then I took a break from it. And then when COVID happened, that's when I felt led to open it back up, edit it, and get it done. And I self-published it through Amazon, but it's a short book, 150 pages, not long, but it's written in 3 parts. It's the first part, it's called Have Faith Like Noah. So the first part is sharing how I have faith like Noah, sharing my story of what I went through, dealing with a person that beat me down mentally, and just different other life-ending situations that my life should have ended, but it didn't. And then the second part is Noah, now sharing his story. And the third part is when he gets on dry land and kind of wrapping it all together. So it's a really cool book. I love it. Even though I wrote it, but I do love it. It's helped me out. I even read it a certain chapter every now and then just to remind myself of where I've come from and just an encouragement. But yeah, if anyone listening, Have Faith Like Noah, I would check it out on Amazon.
That's it. Check it out and get it on your website as well. It's linked on there. And there's also some swag on there. You can get some swag, some nice shirts and stuff
You
like
can get
that.
some shirts, bracelets, hats, everything. If you buy a shirt, hat, a bracelet, that all goes to Redeemed and our land. So it's a complete 100% fundraiser for Redeemed.
Man, so you're accomplishing all this, writing books. By the way, if you've never written a book, I've written a couple, and it's painful. Man, it's hard. It hurt. So shout out to you to going out there and taking the time, getting away from Wi-Fi. Man, that was smart right there. When you got the option to get on your social medias or
It's
check that
hard.
email, man, but when you get laser focused, I mean, 2 weeks, knock it out, man. So I think mine took much longer than that because I did not get away from the Wi-Fi. So that's great. If people don't know how hard it is to write a book, get it out of your head and get it on paper, man, that's really hard. So
Yeah. And the first step, I think, is the bravery of getting it on paper, especially if you're writing, about your personal story. It's tough to get past that scare, whatever the fear.
yeah. But if you keep it inside, nobody learns from it. It doesn't do you any good, right? So
That's true.
that's good for you to get it out there, man. A lot of people don't do it because it does. It's like, well, what are people going to think about me now? But
Yeah,
I'm sure
exactly.
you've gotten great feedback that they really appreciate what you've done for them.
Yeah, I have. And I remember when the day it was like officially published, I felt like completely naked.
I bet.
Just like bare of like, oh my gosh, what are people gonna say when they hear this and that? But I know that the feedback has been worth it 100%.
That's cool. Yeah. So, I mean, you've been able to accomplish all these things, professional athlete, you've seen the world, you've written books, you got a nonprofit, you're coaching the varsity basketball girls, a dream come true. Man, what drives you? What keeps you, where's all this come from? Not a lot of people can get all those different directions in. What keeps you motivated?
Man, like I even have to look at myself sometimes. Remind me, I'm 25 and I'm thankful. But the main thing I know is my relationship with God. That's the first and foremost because I got all this from Him. And even when starting with the nonprofit and all that, like the idea is from Him. I'm just kind of being used. So I'm thankful to be a messenger in a sense, and be called to do something like this because I know I'm just getting started. And it doesn't intimidate me, but it's just like, whoa, like you're gonna go somewhere, you know what I mean? So it's exciting, but that's the biggest thing. And it sounds cliche, but it's so true, is is when I say God, I mean on my knees praying, in the word, and living it out and doing my best to live it out. So I'm just thankful that when I do right and I work and I have faith, he's been rewarding me and using me. So I don't want to even take credit for all this. I just know, like I said, I'm a messenger, and I'm thankful to be his messenger.
That's cool right there. So I know one of the scariest things I do every morning when I say my prayers is not my will, but yours. And man,
Yeah.
I'm like, do I really want to say that today? I don't know, man. But hey, when you let go, let God, and you see what happens, and you get blessed
Hey.
for sure. And you've seen that in your life. So that's amazing right there.
Mhm.
So we talked about Jemison a couple times. So you guys have something going on right now with the billboard. Tell people about how they can get involved.
Yeah, so we're doing a fundraiser. If anyone interested has an organization, a business, a brand, and would like to get it advertised in our gym, we now have the option for it to be advertised on our Jumbotron. We also have different sizes that can be put up in our gym as well. And when you purchase that, you're helping me, you're helping us be able to get gear and pay off bus fees and stuff like that. So we're open to donations. So we're taking anything that we can get, and it would be greatly, greatly appreciated.
That's right. And they're going to win the state championships. You might as well get in now while you can, before they double the price next year. So you better hurry up and get in
Come
now.
on.
So I wanted to ask some questions to get people kind of know a little bit about yourself.
Yeah.
So what makes you mad?
Oh, so look, I'm a very chill, monotone person. I don't really get too high, too low. So it takes a lot for me to get mad, but I do have a couple pet peeves. This is gonna be really weird, but you see it a lot in college, especially when you get in the elevator and someone clicks second floor. It just it just irks me because you could have just walked up 5 flights of stairs and you would have been there. For me trying to get to 7, now I gotta wait for you to just go up one. So anyway, that's a small little pet peeve. And then I think I don't even know if it gets me mad, but it just gets me frustrated or just disappointed is when you see someone who, especially we see it a lot in our generation, or this generation coming up, which is so addicted to social media and stuff, of saying all these big dreams, oh, I want to play in the NBA, this, and that. And then when you ask them, well, what do you do? How are you achieving that? Just in the gym every now, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
you have no idea, so I guess it sums up to laziness. I think that's probably one that just gets me mad when I see it. My girls know that too. It's just you got to work for what you want, it just doesn't come in your hands. You got to work for it. So that's the main two. I can get on a tangent, so I'm stopping.
I'm trying to get you fired up over there. So yeah. Like I said, we were talking before, and I coach football at a middle school, and I like to ask my guys, "Hey, man, are you interested? Or are you committed?" There's a big difference. You are interested in being a good football player, but are you showing up early and doing all the little things? No.
Yeah.
When you're committed, you don't have to worry about all that. So there is a big difference. So I see that too. These kids, they're all going to the NBA.
Yeah.
Man, let's just start with making your varsity team. Let's work up from there. Yeah, I'm the same way. I see the same thing. So I like to ask people that question because usually it shows kind of what they're passionate about, and you just basically it shows that you want people to be their best. That's kind of deep.
Yeah.
You dig down deep. That's what it's looking at. So what's one of your guilty pleasures when you're not out, changing the world and coaching basketball, all that good stuff?
A guilty pleasure would be I love peanut butter. I could just spoon it out and just keep on eating it. And that's not good for you. But if I just get in the mood and I'll just eat it up, and I'm a health freak too. So I don't like sweets, but if there's a red velvet cake around and you can convince me, I will probably eat that thing up.
Hey man, I'm peanut butter. I probably eat peanut butter every day. Every day.
Same. Yeah.
They do those studies that every dollar bill has cocaine on it. If you look at it, probably every spoon in my house has some kind of rare trace of peanut butter. That's kind of a weird segue, but so what's something you failed at? This could be either personally or professionally, and what did you learn from it?
Oh, this is a really good question. I know personally something I failed at and I have conquered it is I used to try to control a lot of things. Everything had to go my way, the way I envisioned it. And that's something that I wrote in the book and that I'm living by now is that I let go of the wheel. I'm letting God drive it and I'm just going where you tell me to go. But that's definitely one thing I failed at was trying to control. Because when we control and it's something that's not in our control. Like we end up the ones messed up, crying, stressed out, on our face, flat. You know what I mean? But if we let it go and just do what we got to do, I mean, God can do the rest. That's one thing. And then two, I would say, basketball wise, I know any kids watching this. I would say I failed at watching film. Looking back, I wish I watched more film. I think that would have helped me more. And I know personally, and I'll just share this. I mentioned before, I dealt with a coach that really beat me down mentally. So I was traumatized by watching film because of what was said to me. So whenever there was opportunity, I declined it because it was like kind of PTSD. The words would come back to me. But looking back, if I was able to be to just put that fine line of just shutting it down, you know what I'm saying, and get over that. That way, I can improve my game and watch film. No telling. But I'm thankful that I failed at that. That way, I can help somebody else out. So those are the two things I would say.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that can really help somebody. It's like you said, learn from your experiences shared. You know, you can learn more from the bad stuff usually than.
Oh yeah.
So that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
So, besides Faith Like Noah, what's your favorite book?
Oh, I would say two. No, this is my favorite. It's called Redeeming Love. And it's a powerful story by Francis Rivers. And actually the second one is Love Does by Bob Goff.
Okay. Yeah.
He just Love Does really just, I mean, the title, just being intentional with loving others. And that's how I am. And it's a really neat reminder in the way that he writes. And Redeeming Love is just a story, a kind of modernized story of Ruth and Boaz. So both of those are probably two of my favorites for sure.
I got to check that. I'm a big Bob Goff fan, so I haven't read that one. I got to check that one out. So.
Yeah, you got to read that one. That was good.
Yeah. So what's your nickname?
Mainly people just call me C. Even though people get really technical because my name is Sierra. So when people say C, they're talking about like C, like yes in Spanish. You know, I want detail, not the letter C. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's good. Hey, the simple ones are better. My son, we just call him B. I'm good with letters.
Simple is better.
Yeah, simple is better. People remember it too. So I have to read this to make sure I don't mess it up. This is probably the most important question I've asked you so far. So be ready. If you were held at gunpoint and told that if you didn't impress them with your dance moves, you would be killed, what dance move do you break out if that's going to save your life?
Ooh, look, I would just hit like the simple, just 1-2 step, just 1-2, just nice and easy.
Now, was that the Sierra song back in the day? Sierra?
Yes,
1-2 step? Oh, see?
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm worm all day. I'll hit the worm.
Okay.
Now, I'll tell you a quick embarrassing story. So I lived in Ireland for a little while, and I was dancing with this girl, and I saw all these tourists. There's like these tourists that got their cameras. I was like, man, I'm fixing to show them something. And I tried to hit the worm, and my arms failed me, and I hit my chin on the dance floor, and it popped up. You know, when you're hurt, you got to pop up real quick. Man, I was bleeding all over the place. And I was like, I got to quit doing the dang one. But yeah, I know normally I can pull it off, but today, and man, I must be on 1,000. Thank goodness this is pre-internet, but I must be on 1,000 films that the little cranky things you could for your time. You got to take it to the store and get them. But man, that was so embarrassing. I had a white shirt on too.
Oh no.
So yeah, if you ever embarrass yourself, then you ain't got that beat. But the 1-2 step, it's hard to beat that. You know, if you got
right, and you put a little shoulder into it, like whatever you want. Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on. People, you need to go support the Jemison Jags out there. They're going to win the state championship. You've heard it here first. I'm going to put it out there.
I'll claim it.
Put it out in the world. They got the best coach out there. They got the best players. They're going to make it happen. So you can get on that billboard. Go check out yourredeemed.com. I'll link all this in show notes. Get the books, get the swag, support the things going on, support positivity. And you are a shining example of that in Huntsville and beyond. So thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you. I'm thankful for you and just all you're doing. So I need to check out your book. I plan to do that too.
Oh yeah, I got some. I'll bring you one. How about that? I'll bring you one.
I'll take it.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Keep up the great work. We're going to keep following you.
Sounds good. Thank you.